Hello, my name is Michael, and I just want to share a short story from my experience today. But before I go into that, I just want to share a bit about my personal testimony. I grew up in a home where my father came from a Ukrainian Catholic heritage, and my mother came from a Roman Catholic heritage. And when they got married, we still went to Roman Catholic churches sometimes, but most of the time we went to Ukrainian Catholic church. And we did all the usual Catholic stuff, Christmas, Easter. The most religious thing we did all year was probably the Advent wreath, where we had Bible readings as a family. So it was like the closest thing to evening worship that I ever had in my childhood. But the rest of the year, apart from December, we never gathered for prayer together. We never studied together. We never talked together about the scriptures almost ever. We never had any prayer requests. We never went out and did any evangelism, anything. And that was my life for, all the way up into my early adulthood, I would say. And towards teenagers, I kind of drifted away from the Catholicism. And then, as I was a younger adult, I found myself searching out other places for truth, because I saw that, and I saw and knew that God existed, but I did not think that he could truly be found in his fullness within the Catholic faith. So that is where I come from. I have several videos that I share my testimony. Maybe I can put them in the link below. But my experience today with this woman was really fascinating, because I approached her and I tell her what we were doing, and I share the books about health, the cookbooks, and there's a book called Foods That Heal, and she just is dismissive and not really interested. And then I share the books about Christ and those messages, and she again is dismissive and not really interested. And she was friendly and kind and courteous and all that, and she heard me out, and she was not disrespectful. But we started just to have a conversation, and I asked her just a bit about herself, and we eventually got to the point of talking about evangelism, because she was explaining that she does not do any of this stuff. And at first I was not sure what she meant, but I think she meant like she does not do any of this door-to-door type of thing. And I was like, yeah, I know, like you never hear really of a Catholic evangelist. Like people are born Catholic, and the way that they make more Catholics is by having babies. Like that's really like the most common way. Like seldom is someone converting to Catholicism. Most people just are either born in the church and stay there, born in the church and leave, or born in the church and find truth in some other, like more truth in some other group. But I asked her, so you believe in the words of Christ, right? Or I forget exactly how I said, but I pointed out that Christ in Mark 16:15 says, "Go ye out into all the world and preach the gospel to every creature." And she really did not even really respond to that in like the Bible says this, I should do that. Like she disregarded that and said, well, I do lots of good things, and God just brings people to me, and I am kind and courteous and hospitable, and people come and stay with me, and I provide for them, and I help them out, and these are all excellent things. But Jesus did not say, let me just put it this way. Jesus plainly says, go ye out into all the world and preach the gospel to every creature. He does not just say, be as good as you think you can be on your own, and then when people ask you for help them out and be generally nice. Like that is great, but this is the deception that many Catholics experience, and this was my deception in my life and growing up, is that it is not enough to just be as good as you can be in your own strength. We need to be better than that, and the only way to be better than that is to co-labor, to come alongside something better and bigger than yourself and walk with that power and let that power work in you and through you to change you, transform you, and work out its blessings through you upon others. So that was my experience as I left Catholicism, started to actually read my Bible, study it for myself, and see what Jesus said. And I have just been greatly blessed in my walk since then. And there are many other things that I could mention with my encounter, but just to see someone who makes this profession of Christianity, as I formerly did, but clings on to a worldly lifestyle, does not feel compelled to evangelize or to embrace the messages of health that are taught in the scriptures. And it just brings me to the words of James, I think it is, where he says, faith without works is dead. And we need both. Works will not bring you to heaven alone. So that we will not be standing in the new heaven and the new earth because of our good works alone. But it is because we accept the sacrifice of Christ and accept the Spirit to work in our lives. And it is in co-laboring with God that we can continue to walk by faith and not by sight. And this is not a perfect explanation, but there are many, many other people who could explain it better than I am now. But I just wanted to share a small part of this story and some of my thoughts. So I thank you for watching. This is Michael Trojanowski, and we are here with the Three Angels School of Health.